I was like, no.
Yeah, the video was aesthetically pleasing, man.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, oh, so he's trying to get the hood niggas on his side now. He got the big booty joints.
So what you saying is Tekashi's the GOAT?
Nah. He asked ultimately. See, and now I got the
because I went live. And so
that's how you had to start.
I got the notification. Nah, he ain't the GOAT. Yo, welcome to Words Never Spoken, episode 29. We got some relevant stuff to talk about. Some sort of foolish. We're going to touch on the 6ix9ine bullshit. But we got some special guests. First of all, I'm the host. My name is Tied Up. Instagram TYED__UP. I think that if you're still listening, if you're still tuned in, you know who I am by now. And co-host Austin. Austin, was good with you?
What's good, everybody? You already know what it is. Austin Toes TV on all social medias. Been here, done that. Shout out to BNY host location. Shout out to the Jameson that I'm about to drink tonight. And yeah, let's see how ignorant I get today.
We're gonna see, bro, because I think you might be the only person on the defense of this guy. But okay, whatever. We got some special guests. We're gonna find out. I've been saying E-Money all day, but I think it's E-Money.
It's my tag name is E-Money, E-Money Boss.
Okay, E-Money Boss.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
E-Money. So we got E-Money Boss and Jamila. Do you have like a moniker?
It's Jamila.
Okay.
Her own boss.
Okay, Jamila, her own boss. Okay, all right. That's some GOAT stuff when you don't even need a name. Just share. Just share. Beyonce. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Jamila.
Yeah, that's fire.
Her own boss.
And you all, thank you for joining us. Thanks for taking the time out. I appreciate y'all. And you all run a podcast.
Yes.
And it's called Top of the Hill.
No, Top Hill Podcast.
Okay, and who started that? How long has that been going on?
So Top Hill Podcast, I'm the CEO and founder of Top Hill Podcast. Right. I started it with my man Chad Visionaire. We went back since high school days, and we love talking about the culture, music, and stuff like that. People really sought after us, for music taste and stuff like that. So me and him had conversations all the time. It's just like, man, I really feel like we should be recording this or something like that. So we just decided one day to just go ahead and do that. Take that leap forward. And we started the podcast. It started growing pretty rapidly. We got to meet Will Bowser, head of the Quality Touch Studios. Yeah. He sponsored our podcast, so we started running the podcast after there. And then episode 20, one of our special guests just happened to be Jamila with her own boss. And me and Jamila go way back too. This is my man's right here. This is a good friend of mine. And so she had an amazing episode, and we had a conversation, and the rest was history. She came on to Top Hill, and now she's my partner in crime right now.
I know.
It's lit. It's lit.
That's
so Top Hill, we basically have a podcast talking about culture, what's going on with black culture, hip hop culture, and we highlight black businesses every episode. So we'll highlight black businesses or black artists who want to get their stuff out there. So
that's dope. Y'all gonna have me tune into y'all for me to stay hip.
I got you.
Because I used to use Joe Budden's podcast.
Yeah.
But it was too musically inclined. I love music. Trust me, I'm a big music guy. I play guitar and everything.
Oh, dope.
But it wasn't as versatile in the culture overall, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's entertaining. Plus I've been there since they had that chick on at the very beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I might have just simply ran its course for me. Mm-hmm. But look though, who was which? You said before it was you and some other guy.
Chad Visionaire.
So is he still a part of the team or
no? He's not a part of Top Hill anymore. He's focusing solely on his photography and stuff like that. But
okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
That's who was in the comments who said I might have on my one-on-one podcast and we just gonna go back and forth about religion.
Oh man!
He was in the comments
of last week. Okay.
Last week and a couple episodes ago. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So was it up until episode 20 that he was with you before she came on?
No.
Literally just the last episode.
Yeah.
So the last episode that we just had yesterday, that we aired yesterday live, was the first episode we did without him.
Yeah. Really?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Oh, okay.
So we're transitioning.
Yeah. So now it's you and her.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So how do you feel?
How you hit that you and her because I am her.
That's fire right there.
Her shirt popping out.
Damn. Dang, that wasn't even intention. That's fire. Bars without trying. You hear that, Austin? But and so Jamila, So you were invited on the show by him as a guest.
Yeah,
Correct.
so that I could feature my businesses that I have. So I'm
Word.
actually a licensed cosmetologist. At the time, I was working out of my house in Lexington Park performing nail services.
Really?
So,
Wow.
yeah.
I lived in Lexington for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, I was helping with the LNG plant there. That's the most drugs I ever did in my life. It's college boys that rent out houses down here. They be
No,
turning up.
The drug
But yeah,
name is. I didn't know it was popping like it was until I moved down there. But anywho, I actually don't partake in any of the.
You good? I
the
don't encourage it.
fuckery.
Yeah.
But no, I had moved down there because it was cheap after I had my son. That's where I started my business. It
was
was an
cheap, yeah.
in-home based business, and I just actually moved into my own brick and mortar where I opened my spa in Waldorf. So we were
really?
talking about my transition.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah.
So I was her nails. Thank you.
yeah.
And then I
Great,
actually
yeah.
opened my spa into her house of beauty, and under her house of beauty, we discussed me being the founder of my own women's organization, which will eventually be a bigger organization for both men and women, but it's called Her Own Boss, where I am promoting, entrepreneurship, promoting self-advancement, and just trying to build a community of women to network without being in a competing environment.
Okay. Wow, I really want to touch on that. But before we get into that, I gotta just put the folder in my brain, Tyrone. Go back to that. Put that slot right there. All right, I know what I'm talking about. I got y'all. All right, so we're gonna come back to that. Before we get to that, I want y'all opinion on this Tekashi 6ix9ine thing.
Okay.
All right, I believe that through y'all opinion, we'll get to know your personalities more, and of course, obviously, at the risk of people liking you or not liking you, I have a feeling from so far they're gonna like you for the majority of the part. But the Tekashi 6ix9ine thing, morally overall. This is what I want to touch on. And audience, we're going to get back to that story. That story seemed very interesting, and salute to you and your journey so far.
Thank you.
But look, this is the reason why me and the co-host decided to kind of touch on this. I've been looking at the Tekashi stuff going on Instagram. Mind you, a lot of it is kind of like just kind of petty stuff, but what got me to want to touch on the Tekashi situation is when I start researching the people that he was disrespecting. The King Vons, and then the other gang members, the Tukas, and then the war against the BDs and the GDs. Since I do battle rap, I actually run into a lot of those people naturally.
They gonna hate me.
But yeah, like first of all, Austin, you two, Jamila and E-Money, isn't it morally wrong though? Do y'all agree with that, Austin?
Agree with what?
Well, what's the full question? What immediately wrong? What's immediately wrong?
I don't know.
Just
Have you
Tekashi existing or?
Well, the things that the things that he's been saying about these deceased people.
Right.
Does anybody disagree with it being morally wrong?
No, I agree with that. He has been going on a rapid tangent this past week. Like he's been going off. I think what happened with him and Meek Mill kind of just sparked it, and it's just like he just never let it go. You know what I mean?
Because he's not supposed to. I mean, at the end of the day, he's an entertainer, and it doesn't boil down to morals. Okay, while something is hot, you got to keep it hot. And at this point in time, he's already given away and thrown away his self-respect and pride and anything that he had going for himself. So at this point, the smart thing to do is talk your shit.
Yeah.
Like
he's like, if everybody hates me already, I want to just stay relevant at this time. This man just bought $1 million chain. You know what I mean? Off of this shit. Like, so, you know what I mean? It's rap to him is not selling records no more. It's just...
Not to him, not to anybody. Like, the industry is not what it used to be. So at the end of the day, it's all about popularity and it's business at the end of the day.
Even back when they were talking about selling records, the game has always been built on gimmicks.
Right.
From the very beginning. The game has always been built on gimmicks.
Is what sell the record.
Right. Now,
why you say the very beginning?
Morally wrong, hold on. As far as I got you. As far as it being morally wrong, yes. But rappers have been doing this shit since way before Tekashi. Niggas have music videos pissing on dead people's graves. Niggas have talked about, in battle rap, niggas talk about dead family members.
That's very
very hypocritical for niggas to be up in arms about him doing it when they've been doing it too.
He's just doing it in a way that's not respected.
Yeah,
hold on,
there today.
hold up. This wasn't a normalized thing. And anytime this happened in battle rap, it was something. In battle rap, it wasn't a normalized thing. Anytime it happened in battle rap, it was one of the exceptions. Like, not saying it was accepted.
How many times before it's no longer an exception? Because I can, off the top of my head, think of, and I couldn't name the specific battlers, right? Because I've watched a million videos within like a week's time. But I can think off my top of my head probably like 6 or 7 times in like 2 days of watching battles where somebody talks about somebody's dead homie. So how many times before it's no longer an exception?
Okay, all right. So 6 or 7 times in 2 days, that's significant. But one of the variables that's missing from that is how many videos you've watched and the popularity. From my understanding with my conversation with you, you've been aiming for the more classic battle rap videos.
I've just been watching.
Okay,
I've just been watching battles.
Okay.
But I'm even with that, because it's not like I just have seen these battles within the last 2 weeks. Most of these battles I've seen years ago and am just re-watching.
Okay.
So the stuff been happening for years. This has always been a touchy subject. Rappers dissing dead family members and family members have always been a topic for debate and discussion in the industry.
I can see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I feel like it's also like based on popularity and where you stand in that sense. Like with battle rap, it's usually like real like community based, and if you were to say some shit like that, you probably really are with the shits and you want all the smoke that's going to come behind what it is that you're saying. I think that now it's kind of getting a little bit misconstrued based on Tekashi 6ix9ine being a gangster.
Nobody thinks he's a gangster.
He portrayed
himself to be, and our foolish folks. I don't know who allowed that goofy ass nigga in, because we need, like that. We gotta go back. We gotta go back there, because 6ix9ine wouldn't even be anybody had we not made that goofy move to begin with. And when I say we, I mean the culture, because he has no business being in our culture, but yet here he is at the top of all of our headlines in our culture. Like, you're just a goofy ass. Like, I don't even know what you are. What is his race?
He's
Mexican. He's Mexican.
Yeah, he's Mexican. Yeah.
But the thing is with him, he's not the first person to really do it. He's just the first person to do it this kind of way.
He's just the hottest nigga to do it right now.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of
and I'll never argue that he was the first person.
Yeah, there's a lot of gangs that affiliate with rappers.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We've allowed this before.
But look at how he portrayed himself. Like, when you go to an interview, you know what I'm saying? Like, my background, I didn't a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the hardest nigga in the world, but he could never sit with me and none of mine.
Right.
Like, you couldn't look at me like, just because you got some money, it's like at the end of the day, what kind of real niggas is y'all? What kind of gangsters is y'all to let this nigga get in because he got a couple dollars?
That's my thing, though. That's my question for the entire industry.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants.
For what industry exactly? Because the music industry and then gang affiliation are two totally different things, and they shouldn't even be.
But they're so intertwined these days. You can only separate them in exceptional cases. But every rapper these days is a part of some gang, or is some hood nigga, or some. That's the persona that people want to push and sell right now. So when you talk about 6ix9ine, he's really carrying a persona. I personally don't believe 6ix9ine is really about gang life.
Well, the consumers is something that you got to keep in mind too. When she says that it's two separate things, the consumer portion is totally different when it comes to the people that in the streets care about him.
We're talking for the consumer right now.
Well, yeah.
We're not talking from behind the scenes industry.
Yeah.
We're asking if what 6ix9ine is doing is morally right. Is it this? Is it that?
Yeah.
Which means we're talking from the consumer. Because if we're gonna talk about the industry side, then we're gonna talk about how this whole shit all of this shit is a gimmick.
Yeah. It's making him money. It's making him relevant. There's a whole reason why they signed him in the first place.
Yeah, because they knew he was gonna make millions.
Yeah,
because he's hot right now.
The nigga broke YouTube, dog. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like,
he had 10 million views in 7 hours on this last music video.
Yeah,
so that was amazing.
Yeah,
yes,
it was amazing.
And besides, and look, me and Will Bowser, we did a little dive. We did a little dive the other day on Spotify, right? And we was looking at the most streamed artists on Spotify. Drake is killing everybody.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Except for 6ix9ine.
And
6ix9ine is making it a close race.
Right, he's not
beating Drake.
And that's why
he's making it so close.
That's why he's so mad. I'm not gonna lie. The one thing that I'm gonna give 6ix9ine, that he has some kind of he had some kind of reason to be upset. When his album did drop, he was blackballed from
they
the
hid
entire
that
industry.
Yeah.
Like
I'm a fan, so I
right, exactly.
that's my
I
guilty
pull up
pleasure.
whenever
I
it's Friday. I always pull up and look for the new music and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He was nowhere the new music sections on Apple, Spotify, none of them. They completely blackballed him from all DSPs.
Yeah.
You couldn't find his record if you search for it.
Right.
And if you did, it was like it wasn't even his album artwork. It wasn't his track list. It was like real fucked up. Like they
You had
really
to go
did
to
him
his
job dirty.
artist profile.
Right. They did him job dirty.
Yeah.
So it's like they blackballed this kid. Yeah, some people gonna say yeah he deserved it or whatever. They wanted to put him down in the dirt. But like if he earned that shit, he earned that shit.
But the
you know what I
crazy
mean?
thing is, his
They were
streaming
trying
numbers
to
are still
appease
shitting on people.
the culture too, like you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, that was kind
if
of
they
weird.
didn't do that, then we was like they can't win for losing.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
always
people
gonna be a
will clown
catch
them,
22.
trash them.
And this
exactly.
and they got pissed off because they said you never make it number one without radio and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
that's
he
exactly
did
what he did.
And
Yeah.
he did, and he celebrated it in their face. He said,
Yeah.
"Fuck you, I did it."
Yeah.
Pop
Yeah.
bottles, and they're like, "Okay, we got you. We're gonna sabotage your whole album rollout."
And they still can't do it.
right.
Yeah.
But you hit the nail on the head. They have to appease the culture, and that's the issue with where we are now with like this internet age and everything being on Front Street with the cameras and this, that, and the third. Every company and people don't move how they genuinely feel inside.
we playing a game.
They move how to appease the
person in front of them,
majority of the masses.
Right, absolutely.
And so that's why questions and conversations like these, I laugh at a little, and I still listen to 6ix9ine. I know Jamila laugh at him. She not a 6ix9ine fan, but Jamila laughs at all of this entertainment shit. Like she don't give a fuck about none of it because it ain't affecting us for real.
Right.
Yeah.
I find it weird as shit to people
Yeah.
who indulge in this shit as if it has anything to do with them. Like, what?
Right.
The fuck?
Yeah.
He didn't snitch on me. He didn't say nothing about me. I don't look stupid. I'm not mad. I'm not dumb. Like,
Yeah.
you're not
He ain't
talking
talking
about
to
me.
you.
I'm not
Yeah.
putting myself in that
Like,
situation.
yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
You know,
I'm-
you got the gang culture that the thing is, man, the question is how much does money talk more than actual gang culture, man? Because the gang culture clearly was compromised because the nigga had money. You know what I'm saying? And now
Well, he was with them before the money, before he had money.
I heard he was like still
No.
shooting. I heard he had a mean buzz because he was shooting
Nah,
videos
he
off the
was
scene.
He was with it wasn't Shoddy. He wasn't with Shoddy, but he was with.
He might
some
have
of
been
the
a
same
flunky in the
people.
group with that rainbow ass hair, but he was
But the
never
thing is-
the nigga.
No,
He was
but
sleeping
this
on
is
the
what
floor.
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
He was sleeping on the
got
floor.
in before he had money, is what I'm saying. He was an underground local artist, the same as any other nigga.
He was that, but I'm
before
saying
he
was
got
he?
money, and he was affiliated.
He
with
got
He was
some of the same
affiliated,
gang
though.
He got
people.
drafted.
And
He
he-
was running with some of the same gang.
Yes,
people.
yeah, but it's a
But
difference
that don't
when you.
make you a real nigga.
No,
No, I'm
no.
not saying he a real nigga. I'm
Yo,
saying
Austin,
his
it's a
money didn't
difference.
get him in.
It's a difference
He was
between being
already-
No,
affiliated.
money got him
people.
to the next level
Yes.
because you went from being a
Yes.
flunky
It
to
did.
riding.
To
You
the
never
next
was
level.
in the
Hold on,
car.
hold on,
It
hold on.
didn't buy
Then-
him the seat. It didn't buy him in the door. He was already in the door. Whether
It brought
he
him a
would've moved
position
up
of
or not
power.
Was
a
he
different story.
banging? Is my question.
No.
He was claiming to.
No,
No.
because
Too
in an
bad.
interview he said he was cool with these niggas. He and there's a lot of niggas that
I know which one you're talking about.
There's a lot of niggas that are cool with like Crips and Bloods. They seen with them. They even will throw up a flag, but they'll never bang. They'll never say I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? He was one of that, and then he started banging and repping them
Well,
later
no,
on.
Okay, so my ideology of banging is you a real street nigga.
Did they jump
He
him in, or was he
never
just chilling
was
with
that.
them?
No,
He
I'm not.
never-
No, that's not
so-
my saying. When I'm not saying that, I'm saying literally, there's a thin line. There's people that literally will grow up with gangs and hoods. They'll rep hood,
I understand.
but they say I'm not a blood, but I'm from O Block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
Right.
like
I
he,
understand.
he-
I understand.
Like
what
their
you're
whole family is affiliated, and
Yeah.
they know daggone well
Kendrick.
you run up on their
Kendrick
cousin,
Lamar.
it's gonna be a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, even
like,
deeper than
But
that.
what I'm
you know?
saying is, you say he went from this to started banging.
That's
I
what
don't
it seemed
believe
like.
he ever went to really. It was the persona.
They were just
No.
like,
He
Well,
never
that's not something that's
actually started
subjective.
doing gang
That
shit.
we can make an objective claim of whether he was claiming a blood set or not.
No.
He was not prior.
I understand.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
I'm
I'm
not-
not.
yo, see, we
being
said-
a real nigga.
I hate when we do
I
this.
feel like money because y'all not disagreeing.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I never said we were disagreeing.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I was like that. I was like, oh, damn, nigga.
My definition when I hear begging,
Right.
I expect you to be a real nigga.
Yeah.
And since we know he's not a real nigga, we shouldn't put that to him.
But it goes back to what he was saying about, the gang culture being, what did you say? Like, money being.
Yeah, because you got the consumers that are not gang related who don't give a fuck about snitching. They don't give a fuck about none of that. You know what I'm saying? To them, like 6ix9ine is a go. Then you got the gangs that try to live by the street code, whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? It's it's just different. It is a different. It's a line between that. Even though there's an intertwine at some point, but there's still the consumers that just don't give a fuck. What I want to know is, like, do y'all think it's some hypocrisy in him saying the stuff he says about King Von and all that stuff, and the BD saying stuff about Tuka, who was a killed gang member, and they made it into a form of weed, smoking on that Tuka.
Smoking Tuka, yeah.
And sorry to say,
that's what I'm saying. This whole thing, everybody.
There are no real rules, and you kind of just gotta pick your position.
Yeah, I feel you.
So that's why I'm like, I don't really care.
Now,
you gotta
like,
pick where you stand, because like I'm not a gang member or anything like that, but at the same time, like, I do stand by a certain moral code.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And at the end of the day,
my shit is beyond that. My shit is morally. I don't give a fuck if you claim to rep McDonald's and you cheat on McDonald's with the Wendy's. My thing is a moral. It's not about
a moral code.
I'm not a gangster. I'm a citizen.
Yeah,
but for him to morally rep that and push that and benefit off of that,
lack of loyalty,
and then not show the actions as far as. By the way, I'm not condoning it, saying that he should go out and shoot niggas, but if you're that, then that's the part I'm kind of like, well, nigga, how you trust this nigga?
Would you say that ever since he got locked up and got out, though, that he's no longer repping that, though?
Absolutely.
Like he's now saying, I'm a citizen,
he has no choice.
Right.
Yeah, like, first of all, yeah, and when you sign up, you know that's not even an option, so for you to even play like that, like, I'm not mad at 6ix9ine. I'm mad at whoever the fuck let his goofy ass in, because he could never sit in a room with me.
Most people are looking past 6ix9ine and like, y'all let this happen. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Anything for some money, like, and that's the thing with the culture, with the gang culture, is mostly of brown culture, and we typically sell out for a fucking dollar. Like, we are just so.
Okay, at the end of the day, Tekashi was a lick. They saw him as
an opportunity. They made him a bunch of money. Like a lick, though, but they didn't treat him like a lick. Y'all let him in and compromise. They started
going after his baby mother. You know what I mean? They started going after his family. They started doing him dirty. You know what I mean? Trying to kidnap him and shit like that.
Deeper and deeper in his pockets. And he said, "Fuck that! I know how to get rid of all you motherfuckers."
Right. He said, "I'm gonna do the selfish thing. I'm gonna let the world hate me. But I'm gonna put all you guys down." It's fucked up because you put other people down that didn't really deserve to be down like that. But there was some people that weren't like initially involved in that situation, but just because of affiliation, they got locked.
Hey, good association.
There was other gang members that went to jail, not specifically for the 6ix9ine situation, but just like that had nothing to do with this shit.
So here's the thing with that, and this is where if a nigga was always a citizen. Now keep in mind, now we may now see, that was all fake. Right? But them niggas who let him in knew he wasn't about that life.
Right.
So,
but now you got me thinking. Now you got me thinking, though. Did they really know? But did they really know?
They was on the phone.
How smart are these gang members?
Hold on. There was recordings of them talking and saying they knew he wasn't about that.
Wait. Hold on. You sure about that, bro? For real?
It sounds familiar. That does sound familiar.
So that's why people just like, y'all mad at 6ix9ine stuff like that, but y'all niggas doing wild shit over the phone where people can record you and you doing it on live and like come on, bro.
And let me say it, and this is where I'm going with this. They knew he was a civilian. They knew that nigga wasn't really about banging and gang life. What the fuck you think he gonna do when he can save his ass or take an L for y'all?
Right, you fucking his baby mother. You talk about kidnapping his mother.
Let me ask you something.
Fuck you. I'm gonna say myself.
Listen, I'm gonna put it right here. I'm not a street nigga. right? I'm a civilian. So if you bring your street shit onto my sidewalk, I'm snitching.
Of course, yeah.
I'm telling, get off my sidewalk. Keep that shit in the street.
Yeah, let me ask you something too.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah,
Right,
it's them again. It's them niggas.
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell you.
It's me.
Let me ask you something. I'm really curious to y'all opinion on this. If 6ix9ine would have, after what he did in court, if he would have came out and not been so disrespectful, overtly pissing on the gang culture, do y'all think he still would have been not as? First of all, I want to know: do y'all think a nigga really is seeking out to take him out, not the O Block gang, or do y'all think it's cap?
No.
Nah, people.
What you mean?
People want
Do you think
Niggas
that
after him?
because I feel like
I think they want him, but if they know what I know, they ain't gonna touch his ass. Like, is you stupid? Like, he's hot. Like, what the fuck? That's like,
hold on, you saying a gang member won't want to touch him?
who is? First of all, money and power. Just because you are gang affiliated, you need the money and you need the power.
Wait, hold on. So you saying that he's still affiliated with some gang members?
No. What I'm saying is,
He said he got money.
you said, are they gonna? Do you think they're still? Yeah, he's protected. How
you saying okay?
He's not even accessible.
First, you gotta get to him.
He's not accessible.
You're saying people are willing. Okay,
You
but
got,
they just
you
can't
got
get
people
to
in
him.
Chicago trying to get to him. He's in Florida right now. You know what I mean? Like, how are they gonna get
and
there?
There have been, I think, at least 3 instances, and I'm not counting the Meek Mill one. 3 instances where rappers who just so happen to really be gang members have tried to get to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
really?
couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
there's a lot of street niggas that's in the rap game right now.
And it's hot. Like, it's a camera
Yeah, it's
everywhere.
hot
What
as
was
hell.
Meek supposed to do? It's cameras everywhere. And then all of us, not us, but just us as civilians, we got we the police.
Yes.
Who the fuck want to kill him that much that you gonna give away your freedom?
Your whole entire life,
doing janky shit is
you
cool.
niggas?
You run the risk, and it's a possibility of not getting caught. But who the fuck is really going out like that?
I'm not letting Tekashi 6ix9ine live in my mind rent free like that. Like, he's not in that much control over me.
Okay, because I was wondering how realistic it was for people to like. Because I mean, you go ham. You just then like in front of everybody, bow, boom. I did a gang. We good. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so here, and this is where my whatever you want to call it comes out.
Yeah,
right?
I feel you. Talk that shit. Talk that Judas the Messiah
be
shit.
Real street niggas. There's a few niggas still alive that y'all ain't going after no more.
Yeah. George Zimmerman. I'm just gonna throw names out.
That's true. Okay. That's point taken.
Thank you.
Point taken.
With no protection, money or power.
Right.
There's some niggas that's still alive.
He out here auctioning off the gun that he shot Trayvon Martin
y'all
with
kill
right
X
now.
and let Zimmerman live.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How y'all niggas hood?
Yeah, like.
So that's all I'm saying.
The street is done. What Jay-Z said, the streets is done. So shout out to Hov, man.
And that's why, like, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's the reason why I wanted to talk about that because I started reading who first got, and it was took from the GDs, the Gang Disciples, and then it was somebody from the BDs that got whoever got him. Then they got somebody from the GDs that got him. Then it literally there's a paper trail for all of that, and it only is until they get to the last person they say allegedly. Other than that, they say no, this nigga shot him for this nigga shot him for that, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, vendettas is real. It's even to the point where the mothers of these people started forming a alliance. Like, we gotta stop. You know what I'm saying? And so I was reading this joint like, damn, this kind of fucked up. And then I just saw Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So I'm really...
That shit moved me.
Amazing movie.
So I'm really like yo.
My shit like
no. I was leaving that joint like, I'd be pissed if a black nigga shoot me. I'd be like, nigga, what we doing, bro? We tripping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was like, bro. At the end of the day, somebody got to take a L when it comes to that peace shit, bro. Somebody got to take a L, dog.
Yeah, man.
That's the problem.
I know.
Pride,
I know,
yeah,
bro.
pride.
I know, man.
That's one thing that's one of the biggest issues that we have as black men. Our pride, man.
Talk about it.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Do a little deep dive for just a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, I know where it stems from, right? Like, it comes from the backs of slavery and everything. We want to prove to ourselves that we are them niggas, that we gotta, show up for our women. We gotta have this persona. You know what I mean? We're not allowed to cry. We gotta be these tough, hard exteriors of men. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we don't really know how to express our feelings towards each other. You know what I mean? Right. We don't really know how to. I think real man time is like shit that we're doing like right now. We can have these open conversations for other people to understand and hear. You know what I mean? But I want to hear from you guys too, because I don't know.
Well,
I don't
mean,
know how do we fix this. How do we fix this issue?
All right, well, look, this is what I got to say about the joint. Nah, for real, don't even give me that look. Nah, I have a very, I think, unique perspective on it. Okay, so I think that some of the stuff is human nature.
Okay.
I think a lot of it is human nature. But I think that since we're African Americans, we have to recognize the problem that we have to deal with. Mm-hmm. Over in Africa, Ghana, South Africa, there's different stuff they got to deal with. For us, this racial problem is more of the tangible things that we can recognize. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, if you go somewhere else, their problem is something else. You know what I'm saying? Niggas getting stabbed over in London. That's their problem. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But now that we recognize our problem, now we have to go from there. You know what I'm saying? Now,
but
this is what I think.
Does everybody know the problem, though?
No, they do not.
They don't know
And that's a part of the
fact.
solution is awareness.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my thing. And
But how
I
do you
want to
make
put this
black
out
men
here.
aware, though?
You got education. You got
It's not that simple.
It's
not that simple.
No, education and
Black
time.
men are living in denial. It's not even an issue.
No. Hold on. I want you to touch on that a little bit. But hold on real quick. Let me just finish this one part. All right. Now, we talk about, when I say we, I'm going to make an assumption for African Americans. Forgive me if you don't agree on this. But for the most part, we talk about going back to the roots and uniting and Pan-Africa, whatever. To me, nah, I'm good. Mm-hmm. I don't know African culture. Mm-hmm. I know African American culture. You know what I'm saying?
There is no African culture. Africa is a continent too, so that's a
Yeah.
whole nother thing within
Yeah.
itself.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I don't know African. I mean, I don't know
Right, but that's
Sudanese
the point.
culture. I don't know
That's part of the
Ghanaian.
problem
You know,
too. We just don't know.
And I
You know
think
what
that actually we're misled because we're so desperate to be attached to some of the stuff that we really don't really know about. But what I do think is, it is important to know history, but getting closer to modern day life for us, we have to recognize that we are the biggest colored tribe in the world. African Americans are 40-something million, right? The next biggest tribe is the Yoruba in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. Next after them is the Igbo. All right.
African Americans are the richest.
Okay,
black
we're the wealthiest black group, but we're not a tribe. We got niggas in Chicago beefing with niggas
Whoa,
in their own
whoa,
city.
wait,
We got
wait.
people in DC beefing with people in Baltimore.
Yeah.
We're not connected.
Wait. That's the issue right there.
Mm-hmm.
We have the biggest collective common denominator, meaning I can go over to Chicago and say a reference to something and someone will get what the fuck I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. If I go to California and say, Jerome, they're like, Jerome! You know what I'm saying?
People in Nigeria and Ghana will do the same thing. They watch the same thing.
But that is true, and I don't want to cut you off like that. That is true. But they also have something that we don't have a clue about.
What's that?
All right? Whatever their culture is. We don't know about. They could do like, and I don't want to sound ignorant, but them eating from their hands, but they eat that fufu.
They don't eat. Not all of them eat from their hands.
I know. I don't know. I'm just giving an example.
So this is the thing. I just want to cut you off.
Being African,
Right.
I'm Sudanese and Egyptian, so.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Shout out to Africa. So anyway, one thing that I can speak on, like you said, we here in America, we don't know our culture.
Right.
Like in Sudan, like we have a high sense of pride with something to be proud of. The pride that we're speaking on in regards to like black men is stuff that we shouldn't even really be proud of, things that we need to work on in regards. But in Sudan and like other African cultures, we take our culture very serious. Mm-hmm. We take our family names down with us so that we know who came before us, who were they, like, you know what I mean? Like I have my American name and then I have like my Sudanese name. We take our father's names. Like the Hispanics, they usually take their mother's names and things of that nature. But like my name is Jamila Idris Muhammad Idris Abdullah Muhammad Swar. Like the names go down and we know who these people are.
Why was that clapworthy? Really though?
Because she knows where she comes from.
Because I know where I come from and I know who they are. That's all we know. Like I know that my last name Idris, like Idris, my family kings in Egypt. You get what I'm saying? Like I know that, and I didn't have to do that online. Like that came down from grandma, great grandma, grandpa, everything. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's no doubt that as someone with your cultural background, you can say something right now to someone that's Sudanese right next to me that me and Austin be like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" Mm-hmm. That's y'all. Like that's what y'all specialty. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We African Americans, and I don't. Ultimately, it's agreement of being it's agreement of coexistence. I'm not saying that we all should be against each other, but I'm just saying that we should focus on what we all have in common. You know what I'm saying? And treat that as special as opposed to reaching out to stuff that gets kind of shaky when we go but some 100 years back.
So what I'm going to say is real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
I think what you're talking about will inevitably lead us to having to know where we come from as well, though.
Yeah.
Because there's so many phrases of history repeats itself, to know the future, look at the past, yada, 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 yada. But when you talk about a sense of being proud of who you are, you first have to know who you are
and where you
come
from. So
when you start asking, who am I? So for me, right, my first layer of, I guess, peeling back the lens of finding out who I am, my first layer was finding out who I am as just the individuals, just Austin, the creative. You know what I'm saying? The artist, the podcaster, the this, the that, right?
Yeah.
I'm proud of who I am now as far as what I'm doing in life. But that's not where it stops. For me to keep finding more happiness and to really be proud of myself, I got to now dig deeper. And how do I dig deeper? Well, if I look at, and this is where I like like astrology and the signs and stuff. I look at my sign. I see things about my sign, and I'm like, oh wow, that makes me feel good because that's true. I am like that. Oh wow, that makes me feel good. I can use this for this purpose and that purpose. The deeper you go, including your family's history and background, just empowers you even more.
Yeah.
And so I think you're right. We have issues right here in front of us that we need to handle. But inevitably, I think when we go to handle those issues, we're going to get to a point where we're stopped. And the only way for us to get past that next roadblock is to find out who we really are. Like, get our real roots.
But before, I'm just jumping real quick.
No, please, go ahead.
There's powers in numbers, right? There's a reason why you don't see a bunch of Indian people getting shot by police in this end of the street, because you know they're going to go back to the Indian government and they're going to come down and bring hell on you. Mm-hmm. We are orphans in this country. We're the only people that are here not by choice. The only people that are here not by choice, okay? So because of that, we have to figure out who we are. We were disconnected. We were stripped from our names, our language, our religion, our way of life. And we were told now that our past is that we eat from our hands, that we live in huts. When whole time you got people like Mansa Musa, who is the richest man on the fucking planet, who still to this day, coming from Ghana, he walked from fucking Senegal to Egypt. Stood up to the pharaoh. That was real beef right there. Two real kings passing out wealth.
That was real beef right there.
Real beef. Like, this nigga's passing out. This nigga passing out gold to different lands. Fucking that's completely changing their whole economy just by walking past their fucking land. Something that we can't even fathom. And they saw that the whole reason why slavery
like that. We don't all come from that bloodline.
A lot of us do. In West Africa, most of us coming from West Africa come from that person. The reason why the Europeans came to Africa in the fucking first place is because of him.
Yeah.
They put him in the almanac. When they saw him in the almanac, white people was like, oh my God, they got gold and riches and wealth down here in Africa. This shit's lit. Wow, what can we do? Yeah. Let's go ahead and go down there and see what they have. You know what I mean?
And we lacked for nothing.
At all. We were the only people that didn't need for nothing. We had wealth. Yeah. We had all these things, but they needed help. The Moors went to Europe and taught them how to bathe, how to farm, how to build street lights. We did that for them.
They were the cavemen.
And look, look. And this is my. I want to just get to the bait. Go ahead, Austin, real quick. But I want to get to the base.
I want to get your opinion on something because recently, in me going down a certain rabbit hole, me looking at certain information, right? Sure. So, what is your opinion on? Because there are some who say that we, as black people, were here before.
I love it. Let's talk about it.
America is, and I read this in a book. America is actually not even a country. America's a corporation.
Absolutely.
There's paperwork to prove that.
That's true.
Right? And this land was named something else before America, and we were here.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? What is your research, if you have any, like on that?
Sure,
because we don't speak American, we speak English. Yeah,
right. So there was a European. I cannot remember his name. I apologize, but he sailed across the whole entire world. Okay, he went to every point of the world from Europe all around. When he came back and told the Queen, there's niggas everywhere. Everywhere. We are going to be extinct if we don't do something. That's what happened. So, yes, there were black people here in America already trading with Indians. The whole reason why you have bananas in America is because Africans brought it over here. If you dig in Mexico right now, you see the Olmec heads, those are African people that came over here. You have pyramids in Mexico that fucking perfectly align to the pyramids in Egypt.
That's the stuff that I've been seeing, and that's why I wanted some
alien shit.
Black people were master. Black people were master shipbuilders. Okay, African people from the west part of Africa can get on a ship, take the current down the Atlantic Ocean, and land right here in the Americas.
Yeah.
That's how they did it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then you can even see the culture just by walking. Everybody came from Africa, right? But you can see the similarities in their faces and stuff like that. When you look into Africa and you go into Asia and you go through India and then Vietnam, still black as shit, but they have the Asian features.
Yeah.
Then you keep going into...
And you're seeing it spread.
You're seeing it spread.
Complexion to bone structures.
Right.
Yeah.
And then taking it further, the Great Strait and from Russia to Alaska, that's how you get Native Americans. They look just like them. I'm trying to tell you. Me and my fiance just came back from Hawaii, and we went to a luau, and we got to see their traditional dances, right?
Yeah.
Fucking African dances.
Yeah.
The women
totally.
dancing just like Africans. The fucking instruments and stuff they're using. I was like, y'all.
The instruments.
And they look at us. They look like cousins.
Yes.
We're cousins. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Even when we went to Mexico, they were like, "Oh,
Dominican Republic."
They were like,
yo,
you guys not Dominican?
Yo, when I went to immigration, I went to immigration. I gave her my fucking passport. She looked at me speaking in Spanish, and I'm like, I don't speak Espanol.
Exactly.
She looked at me like a fucking you don't speak Spanish.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like what you mean?
What's
Like
crazy about that? I was learning Spanish at one point when I was a witness. I was going to Spanish meetings, right? And I always heard that they was like, if you want to lie and say you're not black and you want to be Spanish, they always told me just say I was Dominican.
Yeah.
Because they said the way I spoke Spanish and my complexion, I could pass as Dominican if I wanted to.
And this is how deep trying to be disconnected from Africa, because one thing they don't want us to do is to connect back home. Because if we start uniting with where we come from, that's like the last great link. The only issue with African Americans, in my personal opinion here, is that we're just not connected back to our home. Everybody else here can tell you where they're from. That's powerful, okay? Any white person you go up and talk to, they can tell you my great-great-grandfather came from fucking Ireland or fucking Scotland or whatever the hell. Germany. They came over here because America said, hey, if you come over here, we're going to give you land. If you give you, I just need you to occupy this land. I need you to grow these potatoes over here. And because of that, they was able to build wealth, okay?
Yeah.
With us, 400 years of stripping you of your whole culture, we're still being affected by it today. And even after that, we were doing well. Actually, after slavery, we're in the same economical position that we were after slavery as we are right now.
Yep.
Well,
we bounced back harder than ever.
Black Wall Street, okay, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We were doing so well there. We were about to trade internationally with people across nations.
Right.
And then they were like, you know what? These niggas getting way too much money.
Yeah.
This person looked at this white person in this elevator, and then that whole riot happened. They bombed American soil to prove a point that we do not want you guys to become this powerful. They did this not only in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's just one of the most notable ones. They were Black Wall Streets all over the fucking all over America.
Central Park.
Central Park. They turned Central Park was a prominent black neighborhood in New York City.
Got rid of niggas and turned it into a
all the major cities. DC, Baltimore, everywhere.
Nah, I'm hip. Like I'm super hip. But this is my thing, man. This is what it all comes down to. Yeah, you can go over it and find out where you come from, which is cool, whatever. But thing is, at the end of the day, go there now and see how they treat you when you speak in English and see if they accept you in their tribe.
Speak
English.
No, it's not.
Ghana.
I'll tell you what, no,
they do.
Hold on.
How long were y'all over there?
Y'all are both right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wait,
they were money to them niggas.
are both right. Y'all
Look,
are both right.
Go look at the.
They do not like Americans that much.
I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna.
Some people.
Yo, look at no, hold on. Why she had a point on this spot though?
Because you was young over.
Oh my bad. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't.
She was like, y'all. She was like,
hold on, wait a minute.
No, I was listening. I had to take a break and my phone started ringing. But no, like, y'all are both right. Like, y'all are both 100% right. So y'all just gonna have to agree to disagree and agree, okay?
yeah, I agree to disagree for sure.
Everybody in any country, not just black countries, they don't fuck with Americans. It don't matter if you black or white. Let the truth be told, because of our lack of humility. We think we're the shit. Like, we think we are the
only
shit.
country that speaks one language and don't give a fuck about anybody
And
else.
don't give a fuck about nobody else. Okay, but at the same time, there are countries and not the entire countries. Like here, like some people, we don't like foreigners, but
Right.
sometimes we love foreigners, depending on who you're dealing with.
We fucking hate immigration law, but we love it when they come in here and cut our grass and clean our fucking house.
Exactly.
So we love their work.
And we not talking about us here in this
No, we just
No, we don't.
But we can go to Africa. We can go to Africa and meet our people and to get intertwined with the culture and learn and then grow from that. But you have to want to do that.
Right.
If you go to America, if you go to Africa, any country, it's not.
The volume
They're
setting
not
work,
going
obviously.
to. It's going to be dependent on how you act when you go there. If you go there acting American and like you're better than that, like they're not going to fuck with you. But if you go there humble, how can they not fuck with you?
Right. Yeah. That's just
even British black people too think the same thing. Like, man,
that's what
people wild.
Bro, that's why I started off as saying it's human nature.
I got bullied when I got to Africa.
Against what you're.
Go ahead.
Not against, because it's not combative. I don't want to make it sound combative, but it kind of goes. It slights your point a bit about. Yeah, go there, cool, see how they treat you. It's not how it's just like shrooms.
Hey, you knew it was coming.
I like the shit out of that.
The attitude that you have going in is normally what you're gonna get out of it. If you have a bad attitude towards shrooms, if you think you're gonna have a bad trip, which don't exist, if you think you're gonna have a bad trip, more than likely you will.
Okay, think you go over there, think you're gonna have a good trip in Libya. See if they treat your American ass good. What I say? You said Libya. Did I say Libya? Right, because you go. Okay, Liberia. My bad. When I said Libya, what is that? That sound like a ghetto prostitute.
Your viewpoint to me really sounds super touristy and mainstream.
Right.
Like you're not.
Well,
you're looking at it from a.
I'm looking for historically.
Yourself in the culture.
No, Austin, I'm looking for historically, bro. We were captured.
Give me examples historically of us of black people not being able to go to Africa peacefully.
All right, we were captured and brought over to America. We fought in the Civil War for our freedom. We were released. They released us in Liberia.
Also fought against our freedom too.
They released us in Liberia as Americans. We already adapted the language and everything. The Liberians to this day have wars against African Americans to this day.
No, they actually recently now they actually coexist with each other. They accept the American.
I'll give you 20 years. How long ago we talking about this?
No, I'm talking about recently.
Wait, no, you asked me for an example.
The progression counts. I'm talking about recently. They love American culture. Actually, if you go to Liberia today, they love America. Actually.
There's not a country that does not love American culture. Period.
I want historical examples.
So let me just break this down real quick. There's a common denominator. Okay, the common denominator is white supremacy. That's just the end of the day. They have specifically.
Don't call it Nick Cannon now.
Wait, hold on. We still at the end of the day sold each other though.
No, we have our own issues. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying the common denominator. What? So Africa had issues.
That is true.
So
that's what I'm saying.
If you go to Africa today, so first of all, you got places like Ghana and Nigeria who speak English. Okay, they speak English. They are learning European history in their African schools. They don't even know slavery exists. So if you go talk to a Ghanaian
middle school in Africa.
No, I'm being dead serious.
No.
You can ask somebody from Ghana who just got.
I went on a date with a girl from.
Okay. I'm talking about people.
She was on she fresh off the boat, man.
Okay, I'm telling you, 10 years ago. Okay, I'm just talking about what has happened. They don't know shit about us. they are just they're just now recently learning what happened.
And the reason why they're learning is because they're seeing what's going on in the news, and they're like, "What are these niggas mad for? What's the problem?"
So I'm gonna tell you a story about an African that came over here, right? Because there's been a common misconception about African people coming over here and not fucking with black people, right?
Right.
Because a lot of them were told not to.
Yo, shout out to Top Hill Podcast. Hold up, it's not me talking today. We talking to Imani and Jamila today, man. Yo, let's go.
A lot of them came over here, right? And when they came to immigration, those people told them, do not hang out in the black neighborhoods. Do not go to the ghettos. Do not go to the hood. They were no good. You don't want to be associated with them. So guess what they did? African people stayed within African people.
They told my daddy that in 1990.
Boom.
Damn.
First source. I'm not making this shit up. They literally told these people not to fuck with us. So guess what? They did not fuck with us. Okay?
He did not fuck with y'all.
She said background.
So
He did not.
the same thing, the flip side of the coin, we were told what? They're African booty scratchers. They live in huts. They have nothing over there.
They call me that elementary
Africa. There's nothing in Africa that is for you. You don't need that shit. Okay? That's what was told. So we have this divide, and we literally have the same blood.
Yeah.
We come from the same people, and that does mean something, man. It really does. Yeah. So you can actually now trace your African ancestry, not just the regular Ancestry.com or 23andMe. You can actually trace your actual DNA that takes you back to your mothers, back to somebody onto that continent.
2,000 years ago.
So now you can actually have a real connection to at least a tribe that you do belong to. Whether you like it or not, you do belong to them because it's blood DNA. You can't run from that.
Yeah.
So right now we have the choice. We can unify with our brothers who are literally our brothers, who are now learning about us and our history, and now we can learn about them and their history and come together and be like, yo. Yeah, that's why with Ghana right now, the year of return was to me so beautiful because they literally said, "Hey, we're not gonna let this shit ever happen ever again. Any black person that was affected by the diaspora who was taken from us, you can come home. Yeah. You can come here. You can get dual citizenship. You can get businesses over here started. We will make it easy for you over here. And Ghana has one of the highest economic growths in the past decade. Nigeria is it is the wealthiest African country right now, and I'm trying to tell you guys, if you just do a little bit of research, do a little bit of research on African economics right now. If look at what happened to China. Okay, China was just like Africa 20 years ago. Dubai was just like Africa 10 years ago. Look at them now. You're going to fall asleep and you're going to miss out. I'm just saying that right now. Do your own research.
All right, so this is before I move on. I want to move on to some of the more personal stories from y'all. I want to be like the white devil's advocate right now.
Sure.
Say that I do African Ancestry.com. Mm-hmm. Say that I find out I'm from Congo.
Sure.
That's what you're giving.
Whatever. What now?
What now? So
why would I? Okay, what does it do for me practically speaking?
Sure.
I know personally what I feel like it would, but I'm really honestly asking for the audience. Seriously, I know I try to use that as a cover up, but I'm seriously doing it.
No, sure. I would say, regardless, we are here in America. We do have to understand our history and why we're here and where we come from. Understand that. Then maybe you need to connect with somebody over there. Be like, hey, the internet exists now. We can now literally connect with these people, and they want to connect with you. There's a huge group of African people who want to connect with you. Go look at Wodamaya on YouTube. He's the biggest African YouTuber out right now. Shout out to Wodamaya. He's bringing African people together, and what he's able to do on his platform is let people know not only how beautiful Africa is, how amazing the people are, and that we could actually come together. I mean, Africa, matter of fact, this past month just passed a free trade agreement where all 54 countries can now equally trade with each other. That shit, I didn't think that was going to happen in my lifetime. For 54 countries in one continent to agree, like, yeah, we're going to all be self-sustained within each other. We don't need to look to the West or the East for help. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you something. That equality in trade among the 54 countries, is there any difference between that collective group and any limitations outside of that they're putting? Where they're saying, yeah, we're not going to do this with the Europeans.
No, I mean it's not so much that, it's just a free trade agreement. So like if somebody from Nigeria wanted to trade with South Africa, it's not they don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops
to the countries on the continent.
Right?
Yeah.
But Europe already does that. You know what I mean? Like Europe already has the European Union. We have the North American Free Trade Agreement. Like a lot of people think America is a goddamn continent. We're one country out of 3. Okay, we got America, Canada, and Mexico. That's us.
And they making us look big on the globe, but we're not even nowhere near.
Yo, see y'all getting me really into the theory stuff. Have y'all heard about that little thing, the false map?
Yeah.
That they made the teachers, the trickers, to make us know that it's not.
Absolutely, it's real.
What's the name? It's a name.
I forgot the name of the map, but right now the reason why we see Greenland is so fucking big, like Greenland looks like the same size as Africa when it's really like the size of fucking Mexico or something like that. It's real. Like what they did was they made the middle parts of the equator. They shrunk them down, and everything furthest away from the equator, they stretched it out. Yeah. They knew that because at the end of the day, black people live close around the equator. Yeah. Okay, the closer you are to the equator, the more black people you're going to see. All right, they already knew that. So psychologically, these people, I'm not gonna lie, they're fucking geniuses. Yeah, from
mass manipulators is what I like to call
that's
it.
What
genius is not it.
Yo, I'm not gonna how they did this shit. I'm like, yo, like I'm not gonna lie. Not
you
to be
intrigued.
It's the con. It's the con.
It's like, damn, like y'all got us hating our own people for what?
Yeah, because let's be real.
So that they can survive.
So they can survive because truth be told,
even though they made this shit up in their goddamn heads, like
race
the
is
whole
not even a real thing. At the end of the day,
we probably wouldn't even want to fuck on their white women had they not even fucked with us.
Right.
Like y'all could stay white and we wouldn't even be tainting y'all genes.
But what happened was the Black Plague happened, Jamila. The Black Plague happened. They was dying off. They're like, we can't let this shit happen to us anymore.
Is it true that a black man or African person is who saved them from the black?
Yeah, the Moors. The Moors went over there and cleaned that shit up. Yeah, the Moors went. You can go to Europe today and see Moorish temples with black statues all over Europe.
The priest, the Pope. I'm sorry, the Pope still gets down on hand and knee and kisses the feet of the Moors.
Absolutely.
The Pope, really?
Yeah, the Pope.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To this day,
white people ain't never did shit.
They had to probably bleach the nigga feet for him to.
Yeah, like
he kissed the shoes, bro.
Right.
The shoes, goddamn, for real.
Yeah.
All right, so look though,
black shoes too.
So who are y'all? Say now, but for real. Now, real talk. I really just want to make sure I touch on this. All right. Yeah. I think your knowledge and your passion is very evident, and it's beautiful. I really admire that. That's fire.
It's Fred Hampton-esque.
Yeah. It might be even more passionate. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even go that far, man. Shout out to the chairman, Fred Hampton.
There you go. What was his middle name? Say now, let me stop. He like Tyrone. Let me stop. But so Jamila, something caught my attention when you were telling your story earlier. I just wanted to touch on that about you temporarily going to Lexington Park and working from your house. Mm-hmm. Now, look, I want to know what work did you do in your home, and did you aim to do that? Did you plan on doing that, or how did you come about doing that?
Okay, so this goes back. Okay,
try to summarize a little bit.
Before I became an entrepreneur, I kind of always knew that I had boss-like tendencies. Okay, my background is in so many different things. I knew since the 3rd grade I was going to the military. So from the 3rd grade leading up into high school, I go to the military. You know, I didn't take no ACT, no SAT. I was like, oh, this shit is like, I'm just going to stick with my plan. Mind you, I'm like 8 years old in the 3rd grade. Okay. Right. So I don't know myself. I get to the military, get there, and I'm like, oh, hell no.
Hold on. At what age you get to the military?
At 17. I graduated on 17. I left immediately after. Okay?
Were your parents any military associated?
No. So my dad is an immigrant. He's Tunisian Egyptian. My mom is American, crackhead. So I grew up in a lot of struggle. Okay, so I'm watching now. My dad, being that he's an immigrant, education is like super important. Right. So like, although I didn't come from a whole lot, I did really well in school. Okay. So I know, like, okay, I'm, as a kid, you're supposed to be, coming up with what you want to be when you grow up. And, in elementary school, it's like they talk about your dreams. And then something happens in middle school where it's no longer about a dream anymore. It's all about find a job. Let's pay bills. Like, it's definitely the social conditioning of just getting us in line to somebody's going to be the boss, somebody's going to be the worker, blah, 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 blah. So
why was the military so influential? Why was it so?
Because my family was so broke. So I kept hearing college, but I'm not seeing no money.
Yeah.
Now I've always been smart, so as a third grader, I don't know, these kids nowadays are a little bit slow, but I was very mature at the age of 8. I was doing and seeing a lot of things and hearing a lot of things, and I'm just like shaping my future around what it is that I'm seeing and hearing through my environment. So I'm like, you keep talking about school, Dad, you keep talking about college, and not only is he talking about school and college, all my cousins are like lawyers, doctors, and all the big regular names, and I'm just like, that's going to cost a lot of money. So of course he's like, scholarship. Right. I was good at school, but I didn't really like school, so I wasn't putting that much effort and energy into obtaining a scholarship, because even when I was 8 years old, I was just reluctant on going to college. Like, it never made sense to me. So I'm like, I'm about to have to find money to go to school. I had uncles and aunts that were in the military, and I thought that their lives appeared well and grand, especially knowing where they came from, because they came from fucked up backgrounds too. So I'm like, they look like they doing okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. Never created a plan B or anything. I get to the military and I get there and I'm like, hell no. Like, why the hell would you, like, you didn't know yourself in the 3rd grade. Why are we here? We got to get the hell out of here. So I don't even finish my term. I get out in 2.5 years and I don't look back. So when I get out, everybody's like, oh my God, you're crazy, blah, 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 blah. But I got out with a general discharge. So long as I'm not dishonorably discharged, I'm a veteran. I'm good. I still get the benefits. Everything is good. So now I'm 20 years old, a veteran. It puts me in a position where I'm in a managerial or supervisory position every time I go to work. But mind you, I had extreme job promiscuity. Like, I will go to work and wake up one day and be like, I don't want to be here no more. Like, for no reason. I'll just wake up and be like, hell no. So I was doing that for a long time. I was in property management. I was in real estate. I worked for state and county government. I was just always in a position where I was running some shit. So I had learned a lot of shit from the time I got out the military leading up to, and then I started selling cars where I met Imani at. So now I have an extensive background in sales from real estate and cars, and all my managerial positions put me in a situation where I can run some shit. So I feel like I know something at this point. Then I get pregnant with my son. My life just completely changed, because I did not want to be a mom. I didn't ever want to be a mom. I just always knew I was going to be the rich auntie. Like, I always knew I was going to be rich. Okay, let's just go there. I always knew I was going to be rich. So now I'm like, oh my God, you about to have this baby. I'm also a Virgo, so like, we're perfectionists, and now I got to be the perfect mom. So I'm like, how the hell am I going to be the perfect mom, going to work, maternity leave 6 weeks? Like, I'm like, you got to create a position where you can keep your baby with you. So that's kind of like where it started at. So I knew that I knew business. I had a business plan before I actually had a skill. So I had to I started talking to, I went through a lot during my pregnancy too. So I ended up losing everything. I was fucked up. So now I'm at rock bottom with a baby.
Do you have a job at the time that you got pregnant?
Oh, so I was pregnant. Yes, I did.
What job do you have when you got pregnant?
Okay. I was in one of my little moves, but I never had a problem finding a job ever. Like, literally, I could quit a job and start working tomorrow. Like, basically, that's what ended up happening. I had quit a job, and then one day I was going back and forth. I was on the fence about going back to the slave ship, to the dealership. Okay, so the dealership, loved the dealership. It was just slave hours. Okay, so I knew I could go back long as my manager was gonna fuck with me. Long as he there, I got a job. So I go back. Then I end up getting in a car accident and do the physical therapy and all this stuff with me being pregnant. I couldn't keep my job. So that happened during my pregnancy. So now, while I'm at home just sitting around looking stupid, I'm like, yo, like, you about to have a baby, you don't have no job, you don't have no money, like, shit is bad. What are you gonna do? So I had to start creating a plan. I was like, all right, bitch, you need a business. But I'm like, what the hell is you passionate? You got to do something that you're passionate in. At this point in time, I'm not passionate about shit besides getting money. So I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset, because I always had side hustles ever since I was in elementary school. So I always knew how to sell some shit. So I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to find something that we like. I'm a nail fanatic. Stay with my nails on fleek forever. Like, you're not going to catch me without no nails. That's just what it is. Yeah. So I was like, all right, let's learn how to do nails. Let's see if that's going to hold your interest long enough for you not to quit. I knew that I didn't want to do nails, but I had to find something that was going to hold my interest. Lo and behold, I take a nail class. It's the hardest shit I ever learned how to do.
Really?
Hardest shit I ever learned how to do. Everything comes easy to me. Like, I'm literally good at everything I put my hands on. So when I actually find myself struggling with this, I'm like, this is probably where I need to be, because I do like challenge though. So I stuck the nails out. I did the nail class, which was horrible. I took a horrible class. So when I take the class, I'm like, okay, I start getting good. I'm not even that good, but I specialize in getting people through the door because of my sales background. I know that I can get people to sit in my chair. So because I'm getting the experience, I'm getting better and better. Something tells me to go to school so that you can so I can make it legitimate. So I start going to school. My business starts going crazy, like, because people just always in my chair. So then I started finding like my real passion, because nails was not it. So my passion is actually in education and helping people. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start teaching, which was inspired by the girl who class that I took. It sucked, and I paid a lot of money for it. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna work in nobody else's salon because I got a baby. You know what I mean? I gotta be able to be home. So I'm at home doing nails with my baby. My business is just doing well. I have a background in business, so I know how to move my money and things like that, so that I can grow. I had basically had the plan, just had to learn the skill. Started teaching the classes, which made me more money for my time. Then I was stacking that money, and then the classes got me then kind of like COVID hit. So basically my business is doing well, my brand is up. I'm getting a lot of recognition from everybody. I'm now licensed, so everything is legitimate now. And then COVID hit. Praise the Lord for COVID.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you, though.
COVID came and just shut everything down for me. So I was so busy day in and day out. I'm booked and busy from time I'm open to time I'm closed every single day. So that doesn't leave me a lot of time to do the things administratively in the business that I need to grow my business. So I'm so focused on the client all the time.
So hold up. Before COVID hit, did you have your own spot, or were you?
No, so I'm working out of my house.
You working? Okay,
I turned my kitchen. I didn't have no dining room at all for the last 3 years. I turned my whole dining room into my little nail area, and then I took another class to learn how to body contour, so I do body sculpting as well.
So wait, was it self-promotion before COVID?
Yeah, everything was self-promotion.
Was it just word of mouth?
Word of mouth.
Where do your clients come from, though? Where do you get them from?
The same place it came from, real estate and car sales. Like, when I deliver an excellent product and service. So everybody was coming to me based off of word of mouth because it was about the experience. Like, before, like,
you're selling yourself. You're not really selling the service.
No, I'm selling the experience, because what I realized from doing nails is white people don't just hate black people. They don't like anybody that's not white. So I ended up getting a lot of white clientele by first building a brand. So before I had the skill, I had the brand. I had already had her nails, her house of beauty, her lashes, but I had the whole brand before I ever learned how to do anything, because that's what I'm good at, and I know what people want to see, preferably white people, because that's who my ideal client is. Okay. So
COVID hits. I'm sorry. So COVID hits, and what happens after that?
So COVID hit, and COVID gives me a break. COVID shuts everything down for me, because I hadn't had a weekend off since I started. Because in the beauty industry, that's when people are off. Like, it's mostly women. My 9-to-5ers, they're usually off on Saturdays and Sundays. So Friday, Saturday, and Sundays is my money making days, which means that I never got any time off. So when COVID hit, it gave me a chance to stop taking clients and for me to plan what was getting ready to happen next. So when COVID happened, it gave me some downtime. I just started planning, teaching more classes, and getting ready to get out my house, because the goal was, once my son hit 3 years old, he'd qualify for the threes program. He'd be in school, which means I basically could get him off my hip and I would be able to do more. So I had planned that when I first had him in doing business. By the time he turns 3, you can put him in school and I won't have to put him in daycare. My son's never been to daycare before. So my son's been with me the entire time. So that's how I created my plan, is around my son. And
that was so you were in Lexington Park when you were before COVID hit?
Yeah, I was in Lexington Park the whole time. So I moved to Lexington Park when I was when my son was 2 months old, actually.
Okay, so you moved there, And so when did you move back up here?
I have not moved back up here yet.
Okay,
I
but your
just
business
opened my business up here because for the
Okay.
last 2.5 years, my clients have been driving at least 45 minutes to come see me the entire time.
in Lexington Park.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Lexington. I don't have any local clientele in Lexington Park at all.
Right. She got
90% of my
Ah.
clients.
shit going down to her.
So obviously, I'm assuming you're looking to relocate closer to here or not?
Eventually, yeah. I'm hoping when my lease is up, I can get up the road. But I don't know exactly where I'm going to be because I plan to open a second location by the end of the year, which is when my lease is up. So
Hold on. So you want to do this two locations? You want to do one where you are right now, and then
Yeah,
you
and
want to
I
do
wanna
it like
open
an actual
another one.
venue?
Yeah, it's over with from here. Like I'm opening a cosmetology school too.
Yeah.
It's up from here. There's locations everywhere in the DMV. You know what I'm saying? We going West Coast with it. You know what I'm saying? We going down
Oh,
south
wow.
with it. Okay,
Go.
okay.
So look though. So your father or mother is Sudanese.
My father.
Your father's Sudanese and your mom is Ethiopian.
No, my mom is American. My dad
Oh, your
is
mother's
Sudanese and
Muslim.
Egyptian.
How's the culture for the Sudanese? And your father? Are you first generation American? Were you born here?
Yeah, I was born here. I did elementary school in Baltimore and I did middle school in Africa. And then I did
Mm-hmm.
high school here in Charles County.
All right. So how is the Sudanese culture as far as it seems like a lot of immigrants. It seems like a lot of immigrants are focused on education. But what I'm getting from you for some reason is that, and I think it's very appealing, is that to me, in my opinion, you've done a lot and you have a lot to brag about. But when you speak on these things, you don't sound like you're bragging. You just sound like you're just talking. But at the same time, it's so respectable and inspirational. But you don't come off as someone that's trying to. You're just saying what it is.
That's the secret sauce.
So I'm trying to pinpoint the quality in that because
She's
it's a
being
very
herself. She's being
powerful quality.
authentic.
That's
Yeah.
Jamila's thing. That's why she's so appealing to want to be around, to want to be cool with,
don't do that,
to want to
guys.
support. It's because she can talk all the shit in the world and
But
still
can back
be
that
Jamila.
and she can back that shit up.
And she
Yeah,
definitely-
and she
But
doesn't
she got
sound
to-
like she's
yeah.
some. And I'm sorry to say this.
Don't even do it. Some
All right, some
just say
people, some
people.
I know.
No. Okay, no, you right now. No, some people, you right. No, some people speak to me, and this thing is an insecurity of me because I acknowledge my insecurities. That's not one of them. Whatever you do, good for you.
Yeah.
But some people feel like they're trying to impress you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, I'm like,
They're
cool,
trying-
bro.
They're
Like,
making themselves bigger.
yeah,
as
I'm like, good for you.
opposed to
But she
uplifting
seems like
everybody
this is what it is, and when you have that type of attitude, you can benefit people way more because they're more attracted to you and they're more appealing to you. And so when you say you were in education, bruh, I mean, I will implore you to later on, whenever everything's settled, to reach out in that field because people will be drawn to you. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, I teach now. That's why my business is so successful. So like, I don't come off as I'm bragging because for one, I don't feel like there's anything to brag about. Like this is my life and it hasn't been pretty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's been nothing but struggles. Like still struggling. I'm still winning. You know what I mean? I live a prosperous. Why can't I talk tonight?
Yeah.
Prosperous life. And I'm steady climbing and moving, but shit is still hard. You know what I'm saying? So what am I bragging about? Everybody is trying to portray these fake ass images, and the shit is fake. It's fraud. Like
man.
it's fraud.
I always had that attitude, not always, but I would say the last 5 years, where if I beat you or beat you or in an argument, now what?
Right.
I'm still going to die at the same age. I still have to go through life the same. It does nothing for me. So I'm a big person on making it easier for everybody and benefiting.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the podcast, what's your mentality when like being asked to be a part of this podcast? And don't give away too much sauce, but like what benefits can you get from it? How can you can use that obviously to elevate your platform? But what's your thinking when he asked you to like join this?
So
podcast?
he didn't necessarily ask me. We kind of were having a conversation, and it kind of just made sense for me to be there. So if you gotta go back and watch my episode.
Word, I got you now.
It was so lit, but basically what kind of got it going is because I am such a spiritual person. I definitely like spoke on like the laws of attraction and like just my spiritual journey. You know what I mean? So it kind of just made sense for me to be attracted and for it to perfectly align with what I was already doing because I do like. Another reason why my business has been successful is not only because I do what I do really well, but I've been promoting other businesses before this whole COVID support black businesses. I've been doing it. I've been
Yeah.
doing it, so I attract a certain type of clientele. Most of my clientele are entrepreneurs, or they are wanting to be entrepreneurs, which kind of like works out for my Her Own Boss brand as well, because I'm able to give advice and coach and help people get to the level at which I got to, because I'm not at the highest level, but it's not hard to obtain if you have somebody that can really show you.
Yeah. I think it's very important for you to have a lot of time to speak, period. So I'm glad you have your platform. I just want to remind everybody to please tune in to the Top Hill podcast. And I want to commend you too, because I think even recognizing that to a certain extent is very important.
Absolutely.
And that takes a special talent as well. Honestly, I'm cheering for you already. You know what I'm saying? Like, good for you. I mean, you're important to this world. Like, your qualities are very important. I really mean that. And I think just as important as people that understand that she deserves a platform to express these and everything like that. So I thank you for letting yourself become personal, and also E-Money and joining us and everything like that. That was very beautiful.
Thank you.
Like, I want to know about you now. You know what I mean? That's very, very good. And everything like that, and you as well.
Appreciate it.
So really quick. So what is your ideal plans for the podcast going forward, as far as what effect do you want it to have on the culture and everything?
Sure. So, I mean, right now, my biggest goal is to give people a platform to promote their businesses. I feel like, especially in this area, so many people, it's like a lot of crab in the barrel mentality in the DMV, a lot of territorial issues in the DMV. I just want to save space for people in this area that they can come together and be like, hey, I do this, boom, hey, I do that, boom. And then it kind of genuinely already builds its own network within itself. Just from the people who've been on the Top Hill podcast, so many collaborations have already happened.
Good.
Just from people coming into that space.
Great.
And I don't want any royalties from that, or like recognition for that, anything like that. I'm happy I just was able to provide a platform that it came from my platform, that's how it happened. I'm like, that's good enough for me. Like, yo, yeah, like, bro, like it's been amazing. And
great.
Going back from when I met Jamila, like, me and her worked at the dealership together, and I remember having conversations with her when we were outside trying to find a fucking deal out there. I told Jamila, I said, you're gonna be fucking wealthy, you're gonna be rich as shit. You know what I mean? And I just love being around people that have similar mindsets as me. I think the more and more that we combine, like, the reason why we're here for you, because I know Austin's mindset,
exactly,
you know what I mean? And Austin knew me because of Will and Quality Touch Studio. So, like, you know what I mean? We're building our own group economics organically, you know what I mean? And so I just love being a part of that space, you know what I mean? And hoping to build on that. So.
That's dope. I mean, way to take advantage of what you have accessible to you. You know what I'm saying? I implore you both to keep going. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. It's a pleasure for me to meet you all.
It's a pleasure here.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that I definitely will stay connected to what you guys got going on.
Absolutely.
And everything like that. Now I'm looking forward to knowing and looking back at your episodes and seeing the different black businesses. That way I know, okay, I'm going to go to him for that.
Sure, absolutely.
Him for that. And one thing I do want to say about black businesses is that, maybe an unpopular opinion, but I'm speaking for myself when I say this. Just because you a black business don't mean I'm a buy your shit.
Most likely I'm not.
You still,
And I'm just keeping it a band, because that's another thing
still
about
gotta
my
be professional.
personality.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We make it very hard to support each other. And that's why another reason why my business has been successful, because I create resolutions to industry conflicts. Especially when it comes to black businesses, like, we make it hard to work with each other.
Yeah.
Whether we're late, whether we slacking on the quality and things of that nature. Like, no, you're not gonna find that in my business at all.
That's why I think what we do is so important, because, and I say we because we are all big on promoting and supporting black business, right? What we do is so important because we vet and know our people before we push them.
Exactly.
So now I have a level of honor and
dignity,
integrity.
Integrity,
I have a
yes,
level of
that's perfect.
integrity now, where when you watch my show or you watch Top Hill and you see somebody on Top Hill and you see what they're doing, now I'm like, okay, I know that I can hit this person up for work, because Monty wouldn't support them if they wasn't professional.
Right.
Jamila, damn sure ain't gonna perform.
Yeah, she ain't have
she
it.
got no cut.
And she'll let you know on the show. By the way, like
I've been waiting for my opportunity to show my ass on this podcast, and I haven't yet. So
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel yet. I don't know how I feel yet.
That's too well.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
thing too. Like we haven't really had a guest on Top Hill yet that I'm just been ashamed of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just like, damn, I really did not wish I'd never invited this person. You know what I mean?
Good, good.
We had some really amazing guests on Top Hill, and shout out to everybody that's been on Top Hill and for the future as well too. So.
That's what's up. I also want to say that, like, for the black businesses that are just starting, if you don't have if you're not good at a certain area, just compensate. I think that with anything tangible, materialistic that you lack, compensate with good customer service. Because I will stay with
hold on real quick, Ty.
Yeah, sure.
I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine, man. Go ahead.
What's good, Carmen? Carmen is also a young black entrepreneur of her own. Jamila's Instagram is in the description. It's the Her Own Boss, Her Own Nails. I think I did Her Own Boss, Her Own Nails, and Her House of Beauty. I think I put all three of them in the bio. I mean description.
And so wherever you lack at as a black business owner, please, guys, compensate with customer service, because I'm a firm believer, and they teach these in business books, that when a customer sees you, you're selling yourself before your product, whether they like you. And I've stuck with people that I knew were ass, but I liked them so much that I was like, yo, this nigga's clearly trying, and that makes me feel satisfied. So if anybody, like, compensate wherever you lack, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to buy from you if your stuff is trash, and then you show an attitude like your stuff is not trash. Like nah, that's a dub, man.
That cocky, overconfident mindset, that's dead. We was talking about pride earlier. Pride is dead.
But be confident.
Be proud of who you are. Be proud of what you're doing. Be proud of the service that you give. Those are good ways to be proud. But that pride that I'm the shit and everybody else needs to fall in line, that's gotta die.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, but if they don't, they like the reason again why my business is so successful, because there's so many other black businesses that's not doing it. It's common sense, but it's not common practice. You're making it easy for me to get this bag. Like,
So if you want to do
honest,
let it die. If not, send them our way.
Right, and then on top of that, not only did COVID happen, but also what happened with George Floyd too, right?
Yeah.
That pushed so many people to seek black businesses as well too. So if you did not take advantage of that,
is who called the cops in the first place.
Right, but see, a lot of those people, it's like, damn, these people really are struggling. They really are dealing with shit. Yeah. How can I help? A lot of these people, they're not malicious people. A lot of these white people out here, they're not like, I don't hate black people. I just don't know what to do. You know what I mean? And at that point, they're like, okay, let me just donate some money somewhere, or let me just go support a black business somewhere. And that's literally what happened. Money just started getting poured into black businesses and corporations, and people,
Ben and Jerry.
Ben and Jerry's always been on that shit though. Ben and Jerry's always been, shout out to Ben and Jerry's for real.
Yeah.
But and then also as like Google and stuff too, you can literally just Google black-owned restaurants near me or black-owned whatever near me, and they make it very easy to look for stuff like that. Like I personally try to look for black businesses first. You know what I mean? Like because. One story I'm gonna leave you guys with real quick that really stood out to me, and one reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I actually had Koreans that went to my high school, like a big Korean exchange student that came in. They told me a story about this one black person that went into like a hair expo. They were selling hair at this place or whatever. The guy went to every single vendor and said, "Hey, I promise you, I'll sell you my hair, whatever." 5% less than anybody here. Whatever the price is, I'm gonna do it cheaper. And he approached this one Korean man, and the Korean man said, "I don't want you to take offense to this, but that's honestly the problem with you and your people." And he was just like, "Okay, I don't take offense to that, but what do you mean by that? Can you break it down to me?" He said, "Well, even though your product is cheaper, I'm going to spend my money with another Korean person because I know that if I spend my dollar with this person, it's going to go to a Korean household that's then going to go into another Korean business that's going to fund them or whatever. It's going to end up going back to the country and the community that I come from, and it's going to also come back to me. You know what I mean? So like That's that connection that I'm telling you about. That is
that goes
important.
back to knowing back where you come from.
Right,
too.
that does exist. You know what I mean? They literally are okay with paying slightly more if they know where the money's going to. Like if you look at the black dollar and how long it stays in our community, we all seen statistics, right? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing how long the black dollar stays in our community. We're so willing and we're so damn powerful that we give our black dollar out so easily. You know what I mean? The Jewish community keeps it like for days. White community keeps it. The Spanish community keeps it within their community. We used to laugh at them for all packing in the cars and living in houses. No, like they're doing things smart as shit. They are business minded. You know what I mean? To be wealthy in America, you need to have land. You need to have investments. And you need to have group economics. You got to be able to know where your money is going. You just can't. You know what I mean? Just frivolously be spending on whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, facts. And one more thing, for the black people like that have to discount their products.
Gotta stop asking for
that's just don't be afraid to work hard, man. You might have to work hard temporarily. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect the same expectations from someone that's been established. You work hard, suck it up, and then later on you could, up your price a little bit. I mean,
you know what the problem is with that is when they are taking business classes and things like that, they are being told not to cheat themselves. When I first started doing nails, I was doing nails for free. I just paid for a $1,000 class.
Yep.
I was doing nails for free, but that's because I'm willing to stay down until I come up.
48 hours of power. You have to make yourself dependent first, because when you take it away, now they miss you and they're willing to pay for you for what they've been getting for free, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So E-Money, can you shout out your how do we see your podcast and any personal handles that you have?
Absolutely.
Which is all in the description as well.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, but please,
my personal handle is E-Money Boss. You can look at Top Hill Podcast. It's Top Hill Pod on Instagram, Facebook. You can find us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Google. We're on all the DSP podcast platforms. Also, me and my fiance, we also have our own travel vlog as well too, where we vlog.
Doing great.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys don't mind subscribing to From Our View travel vlog on YouTube.
Oh wow! I'm gonna definitely give you one more at least. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I need him to stop promoting his business because he be downplaying it. It's lit, guys. It's so beautiful.
Really?
He takes you around the world with him with amazing footage. We're talking drone cameras.
Wow.
Yes, I mean beautiful.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The editing don't look like a fourth grader did it. Like editing looks professional. Everything.
Goodness, I definitely want to see it during COVID. I want to see who lit and who not during COVID. For real.
Yeah.
I want to see if the animals look fucked up. They look deformed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I learned how to do all the video editing myself. You know what I mean? When I started the Top Hill podcast, one thing that we lacked was video editing. I was like, damn, who's gonna get a video editor? Damn, that's expensive. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn myself. You know what I mean? So I learned how to video edit and do all those things, and I translated that to our travel vlog as well too. So
okay.
So E-Money Boss, Top Hill Pod, From Our View vlog, and that's where you can find me.
Right. Okay, and Jamila, if you could shout out your handles.
Okay, so I know y'all don't even want to know what I did today. I created 2 new ones. I had to separate the bodies from the nails. Like I was holding myself back because I was losing a lot of followers on my spa page. I was still gaining them, but people were leaving me because I was showing too much ass.
Oh my! I never lied. I was just like, yo, this is a lot of ass for my timeline.
Oh my god!
Okay,
so what was the handle for that one?
I'm gonna go down the list. Okay, my personal Instagram is Jamila_Idris_. That's JAMILA_IDRIS_. And my business spa page is Her House of Beauty _ and my Her Own Boss organization is Her Own Boss _
Beautiful.
Yeah, if you want to see asses, only asses, it's bodied _by _her _
Hey.
That's what's up. And that's it for me though. Well, not yet. Austin, you got anything yet?
Only thing I'm gonna leave y'all with is I ain't even gonna put a timestamp. I ain't gonna put a timestamp on it. I will be buying enough land to make my own community, like Tyler Perry shit.
Yeah.
And
Let's
everybody that y'all see that I fuck, like the team is solid. Like nobody that's on my team now is going anywhere ever, no matter what. So everybody will have like their business on the land. Everybody will have the option to have a home on the land if they so choose. Like
That's
I'm
awesome,
doing,
man.
I'm going all.
That's beautiful.
out with my
Don't
shit.
gas it right now, because if you hit the lottery next week, I'm gonna be like, Austin hit the lottery. I'm
Shut
already,
up.
I'm already gonna be planning my shit. I'm gonna be
Nah,
like,
it's
so
happening.
Austin,
Yeah.
If I hit the
I'm
lottery,
about to have an
listen,
acre over here.
Be like that family down
the
in
first thing
Georgia.
I'm doing is buying it.
No,
Yeah.
first thing you do is bomb-proof that motherfucker because they coming for your ass.
I gotta
Exactly.
buy the land first.
That's okay.
I can't bomb-proof shit I don't got.
No, you need to buy. Just,
I gotta
nigga,
buy
you
the land,
better,
build the town.
nigga,
then
nah. Walk
bomb-proof
in the
it.
building with the strap. Like, nah, I'm messing with you.
No, but
now I
we're
got
gonna have
you.
our own private security. We're gonna be policed by ourselves. Like I'm not having no outside police.
You
like,
heard about the family, the 19 families in Georgia?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to the 19 families
What-
down in
what can
Georgia.
you-
That's the type
Tell
of
us
shit
some-
we about to be on.
Yeah, they bought like what was it, 200 acres of land? They bought it
Yeah.
was 19 families that got together and
To
bought
make a safe place for African Americans.
right.
That's
They
dope.
they
That's
pretty
fire.
much they bought their own town, so they're gonna have their own police department, own fire department.
Oh
own
man,
businesses.
protect those people, man.
Yeah,
Protect
man.
those
That,
people.
that's
Absolutely.
basically the same shit I'm trying to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at them
Right.
like, oh my God, you're being segregated. I'm just like, oh my God, every white person has done that when they came to America.
Yeah,
You got Chinatown.
Chinatown,
Haiti,
the Italians.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
everywhere.
everybody, like don't
And
be
the-
mad at us for
and
doing
they're
it. Y'all
thriving.
did it.
Yeah, exactly. So shout out to everybody. I'm tied up TYED__UP. Again, Abby and E Money, congratulations.
Thank
They
you.
just got engaged.
Appreciate it.
Do we have
Thank
a
you.
date yet for the wedding or not?
Yes.
No
Yes, we
pressure.
do.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
We
we.
did it today.
Yeah, she just decided today, so it's going to be February 22nd, 2022
Nice.
on a Tuesday. So it's
Cool.
the,
That's my brother's
Yeah.
birthday.
it's my grandfather's birthday too.
It's
So
Wow.
yeah,
George
so
Washington's birthday.
Wow.
So,
That'd be a
yeah.
great excuse to play that song too, Austin. Thanks everybody in the comments. Please, if you didn't already like, please just give us a like if you didn't already.
Yeah, throw a like on the
Give us
video,
a,
everybody.
a subscribe, share, and we'll see y'all next week, man. Words Never Spoken, episode 29. Thanks everybody for joining us. Good night to
for having
everybody.
us.
Thank you.
All right, bye guys.